Welcome to my channel. Tonight, we begin a journey that spans 10 millennia, a journey that follows the silent, velvet footsteps of one of the most mysterious and beloved creatures to ever share our hearths, the cat. As you lie here, let the world outside your window fade into a distant memory. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the softness of your bed, much like a cat finding the perfect, sun-warmed spot on a rug. There is no rush tonight. No clocks to watch, only the slow, rhythmic breathing of a world at rest. Imagine the world as it was 10,000 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent of the Near East. The air is warm and carries the scent of dry earth and ripening wild grains. Humans are beginning to change, moving from the nomadic life of hunters to the settled life of the first farmers. They are building the first granaries. Small structures filled with the promise of survival. But this abundance of grain brought others. Mice and rats descended upon these early settlements in great numbers. And following them, drifting through the tall grass like shadows made of smoke, came the Felis libica, the Near Eastern wildcat. These were not the gentle house pets we know today. They were fierce, solitary hunters with eyes like polished amber and nerves of steel. Yet, they saw an opportunity. They did not come for the humans, they came for the rodents. This was the beginning of the most elegant alliance in natural history. A silent agreement written in the dust of the first farms. The cats protected the food that kept humanity alive, and in return, the humans provided a territory that was rich with prey and free from larger predators. As you breathe in the stillness, think of this ancient bond. It was not forced, it was not a conquest. Unlike the dog, which was bred for specific tasks, the cat chose us. They domesticated themselves, stepping out of the wild and into our circles of firelight on their own terms. Feel that sense of choice and independence in your own spirit tonight. You are here by choice, choosing to let go, choosing to rest. Your mind is like that ancient wildcat, watchful but weary, finally finding a place of safety where the guard can be lowered. Over the centuries, this relationship deepened. The cats that were more tolerant of human presence thrived. Their brains began to change, their stress responses softened, and their coats began to show new patterns. They were no longer just hunters, they were becoming companions. In ancient Cyprus, archaeologists found a grave dating back 9,500 years. In it, a human was buried with care, and right beside them, just inches away, lay the skeleton of a small cat. Even then, before the pyramids were built, before the first cities rose to their full height, we were already walking together. Think of that long thread of time as it stretches toward you tonight. You are part of a lineage of rest that is thousands of years old. The comfort you feel now is the same comfort those early ancestors felt when they heard the soft footfalls of a cat near their sleeping mats. It is a signal of safety, a sign that the perimeter is secure. The cat is a master of the in-between. They exist between the wild and the domestic, between the light and the dark, between waking and dreaming. They spend 16 to 20 hours a day in a state of repose. They do not feel guilty for their rest, they embrace it as a vital art form. Tonight, we learn that art. As you settle deeper into your pillow, imagine the muscles of a cat. They are built for sudden, explosive movement, yet in rest, they become like liquid. A cat can pour itself into any space, letting go of every ounce of tension until they are one with the surface beneath them. Do the same now. Unclench your jaw, let your shoulders drop, feel your legs grow heavy and still. You are pouring yourself into the night, flowing into the quiet spaces between the hours. The biology of the cat is designed for this transition. Their whiskers, those delicate, highly sensitive hairs, are constantly mapping the world around them, even in their sleep. They can feel the slightest vibration in the air, the softest movement of a curtain. This allows them to let their minds drift, because their bodies are always on watch. You can trust your environment now. Your whiskers are the walls of your home, the locked door, the warmth of your room. They are doing the watching for you. You don't need to stay alert. You can retreat into the inner chamber of your mind, leaving the world to take care of itself. In ancient Egypt, cats were elevated to the status of the divine. They were seen as protectors of the home and bringers of good fortune. To harm a cat was to harm the balance of the universe itself. They were mummified with the same reverence as royalty, prepared for an eternal sleep that mirrored their peaceful naps in the sun. Tonight, you are the royalty of your own inner kingdom. Your rest is sacred. It is the balance of your own universe. Listen to the silence. It is not empty, it is full of the same soft energy that a cat carries. A hum of potential, a vibration of contentment. The transition from the wild to the hearth was a transition from survival to peace. You are making that same transition now. Leaving the wild of your daily stresses, the hunt of your career and chores, and returning to the hearth of your true self. The ancient cats of the Near East are still with us, hidden in the DNA of the tabby sleeping on the sofa. And that same ancient peace is within you, hidden beneath the noise of the modern world. Breathe in the history of the stars. Breathe out the dust of the day. You are walking the path of the ancients. You are entering the long, quiet alliance with the night. The embers of the fire are glowing low. The shadows are long and soft. And you are finally, truly, home. Sleep in the shadow of the velvet-pawed. Now, as the history of our ancient alliance settles into the back of your mind, we focus on the most profound sound in the feline world, the purr. It is a sound that defines domestic peace, low, steady vibration that seems to emanate from the very soul of the cat. As you lie in the stillness of your room, imagine a cat curled near you, its body rising and falling with a rhythmic hum that you can feel as much as you can hear. For a long time, the mechanism of the purr was a mystery to science. We now know that it is not produced by a specific organ, but by the rapid contraction and relaxation of the muscles within the cat's larynx, combined with the movement of the diaphragm. As the cat breathes in and out, the air vibrates against these muscles, creating a continuous, looping symphony of comfort. But the purr is much more than a sign of happiness. It is a biological tool of immense power. Research has shown that domestic cats purr at a frequency between 25 and 150 Hz. In the world of clinical medicine, these exact frequencies are known to improve bone density and promote the healing of tendons and muscles. Think of that as you breathe tonight. A cat's purr is a portable healing chamber. When they lie on a human's chest and begin to vibrate, they are not just seeking warmth. They are emitting a frequency that lowers our blood pressure, reduces our stress, and slows our racing hearts. It is as if they are offering us a piece of their own resilience, wrapping us in a blanket of sound that mends the hidden fractures of our day. Let your own body respond to this frequency now. Imagine the low hum of a purr vibrating through your mattress, moving up through your spine, and gently massaging the tension out of your neck and shoulders. This vibration is like a soft broom, sweeping away the clutter of your thoughts, leaving behind a clean, quiet space for sleep to enter. Cats purr when they are content, but they also purr when they are injured or frightened. It is their way of self-soothing, a rhythmic mantra that tells their nervous system, everything is okay, we are healing, we are safe. You can adopt this mantra tonight. You don't need to make a sound, just let your breath become your own internal purr. A steady, effortless cycle of air. Inhale, and feel the expansion. Exhale, and feel the release. With every breath, you are lowering your own frequency, moving away from the high-pitched static of the world, and toward the deep, resonant bass of the earth. In the wild, large cats like lions and tigers can roar, but they cannot purr continuously like the domestic cat. The ability to purr while both inhaling and exhaling is a gift of the smaller felines, a gift of the hearth and the home. It is a sound that belongs to the intimate spaces, to the shadows under the bed and the sunbeams on the chair. Tonight, your room is that intimate space. The darkness is not a void. It is a medium for this healing vibration. Every shadow is a soft cushion, every silence is a note in the symphony of the purr. Consider the efficiency of this sound. It requires very little energy for a cat to sustain, yet it provides a total neurological reset. It is the definition of effortless peace. As you drift closer to sleep, let go of the effort of thinking, let go of the effort of remembering. Just be like the cat, a vessel for the hum of existence. Science suggests that the vibrations of a purr can even help humans breathe more easily, reducing dyspnea and calming the respiratory system. Feel your lungs opening up, taking in the cool night air with a new sense of ease. Your breathing is becoming deeper, slower, more regular. You are syncing with the ancient rhythm of the feline rest. The world may be loud. It may be chaotic, but the purr is constant. It has been heard in the palaces of Egypt, in the cottages of medieval Europe, and in the quiet homes of today. It is a timeless lullaby, a bridge between species, a language that speaks directly to the heart without needing a single word. Close your eyes and visualize the sound as a soft, golden light. With every vibration, the light spreads further through your body, into your fingertips, into your toes, until you are glowing with the warmth of 1,000 gentle purrs. You are mended. You are balanced. You are ready. The symphony is reaching its softest movement now. The hum is fading into a whisper, and the whisper is fading into the absolute silence of the deep night. Breathe in the healing. Breathe out the fatigue. You are drifting on a sea of sound. Sleep to the rhythm of the eternal purr. Now, we move from the soothing vibrations of the purr, and drift toward the most striking feature of the feline face, the eyes. As you lie in the darkness of your room, you might feel that the world is hidden from you, but for a cat, this darkness is not a void, it is a canvas of subtle shades and hidden movements. Their eyes are masterpieces of biological engineering. designed to capture the faintest glimmer of starlight and turn it into a clear path forward. The cat's eye is much larger in proportion to its head than ours. If our eyes were as large as a cat's, they would be the size of oranges. This massive scale allows for a vast amount of light to enter. But the true secret lies behind the retina, in a specialized layer of tissue called the tapetum lucidum. This Latin name means shining tapestry. And it functions like a biological mirror. When a stray photon of light enters a cat's eye, it passes through the retina and hits the tapetum lucidum, which reflects it back through the retina a second time. This gives the eye's photoreceptors a second chance to catch the light. This is why cats can see in light levels 6 times lower than what we require. And it is also why, when you catch their gaze in the dark, their eyes seem to glow with an eerie, golden or emerald fire. As you settle deeper into your pillow, imagine having that clarity of vision. Imagine the shadows of your room turning into soft, distinguishable shapes. The edge of the chair, the curve of the curtain, the silent texture of the floor. For a cat, there is no such thing as pitch black. There is always a way through. Let this thought reassure your mind. Even when your own life feels shrouded in shadow, or when the future seems obscured by the dark, remember that there is always a light to be found. You simply need to adjust your perspective, to let your inner eyes dilate and accept the subtle beauty of the unknown. The pupils of a cat are equally miraculous. They are not round like ours, but vertical slits. These slits act like a high-speed camera shutter. They can change their area by a factor of 135 to 300 times, while our round pupils only change by a factor of 15. This extreme control allows them to protect their sensitive eyes from the blinding sun, and then open them wide to swallow the night. Vertical pupils also help them judge distance with incredible precision. They create a blur in the foreground and background that allows them to focus on their target with laser-like accuracy. As you drift towards sleep, let your own focus soften. You don't need to judge distances tonight, you don't need to aim for any goals. You can let your pupils of consciousness relax, becoming wide and round, accepting the entire universe into your spirit without effort. The cat does not fear the night, because the cat is a part of the night. They are crepuscular creatures, most active during the dawn and the twilight. The blue hours of the world. These are the times when the boundaries between things are softest. When the sun is just a memory and the stars are just a promise. You are in your own blue hour now. The time between the business of the day and the deep silence of sleep. It is a time for grace, a time for slow, careful movements of the mind. Watch the dust motes of your imagination dancing in the dim light. They are harmless, they are beautiful, and they are guiding you home. A cat's field of vision is 200 degrees, wider than our own 180 degrees. They see more of the world at once, yet they are never overwhelmed by it. They have a profound ability to filter out the unnecessary and focus only on what matters. Tonight, what matters is your breath. What matters is the warmth of your skin, the rhythm of your heart, and the absolute safety of this moment. Everything else is just peripheral noise. In ancient times, it was believed that cats could see into other dimensions, that they could spot the invisible spirits that wander the earth. While science tells us of the tapetum lucidum, there is still a sense of magic in how they stare into seemingly empty corners of a room. They are seeing the architecture of stillness, the minute vibrations of air, the tiny movements of insects, the very texture of the silence itself. You can join them in this observation. Listen to the silence of your room. It has a texture, a weight, a comfort. It is a soft blanket for your ears. The glowing eyes of a cat are lanterns in the dark. They remind us that the night is not something to survive, but something to inhabit. It is a different kind of day. A quieter, more honest version of reality. As your eyelids grow heavy, think of the cat closing its eyes for a nap. Even with their eyes shut, their other senses remain sharp. They can still see with their ears and their whiskers. They trust their environment so deeply that they can afford to look away from it. Give yourself permission to look away from the world. Close your eyes. Knowing that your shining tapestry is now reflecting the light of your own dreams. The golden fire of the cat's gaze is now a warm glow in your own chest. You are safe. You are seen. You are resting. The night is clear, the path is open, and the stars are watching over you. Breathe in the clarity of the vision. Breathe out the fog of the day. You are moving through the shadows with the grace of a hunter, seeking only the prize of deep, restorative sleep. Sleep in the glow of the shining tapestry. Now, we shift our focus from the glowing lanterns of the feline eyes, to the most expressive and fluid part of their anatomy, the tail. As you lie in your bed, feeling the weight of your limbs, imagine the tail as a direct extension of the spine, a whip of fur and bone that communicates the cat's innermost thoughts without making a sound. It is an instrument of balance, and a baton of emotion. The feline tail is composed of 18 to 23 caudal vertebrae. Each bone is surrounded by a complex network of muscles that allow for a level of precision that is almost poetic. While the cat may remain perfectly still, their tail is a window into the subconscious mind. A slight twitch at the very tip, a slow, sweeping wave, a sudden puff of fur. Each movement is a signal in a silent language that has been refined over millions of years. Think of this language as you breathe in the stillness of the night. Imagine your own thoughts as a tail. When they are restless, they twitch with the anxieties of the day, but as you settle into this moment, they begin to slow down, moving in long, languid arcs until they finally come to a rest. The tail is, first and foremost, a master of physics. When a cat walks along the narrow edge of a fence, or leaps from a high branch, the tail acts as a counterweight. It shifts in the opposite direction of the body's tilt, maintaining the center of gravity with effortless grace. It is the reason cats can move through the world with such confidence, such poise. Feel that sense of balance in your own body now. You are perfectly centered, supported by the architecture of your bed. You don't need to balance the weight of the world tonight. You can let your counterweights relax. Your muscles are no longer needed to stabilize you, the earth is doing that work for you. In the language of emotion, the tail is a beacon of social connection. When a cat approaches a friend, be it another cat or a human, they hold their tail high and straight, often with a gentle curl at the tip like a question mark. This is the universal sign of hello, a signal of friendly intent and curiosity. Visualize that question mark in your mind. It is a symbol of openness, of being ready to receive the peace of the night. You are greeting sleep with that same friendly curve, welcoming the darkness like an old friend returning from a long journey. When a cat is deeply relaxed, perhaps sitting in a sunbeam or resting on your lap, the tail may move in a slow, hypnotic thumping rhythm. This is not the agitated twitch of a hunter, but a sign of intense focus on the present moment. It is a metronome for the soul. Let your breath become that metronome. A slow, steady, rhythmic wave. Inhale, the tail rises. Exhale, the tail falls. There is no urgency in this movement. It is the movement of a river, the movement of the tides. The movement of a life that is content simply to exist. There is a profound honesty in the feline tail. A cat cannot lie with its tail. It reveals the truth of their nervous system. When they are startled, the tail puffs up, an ancient reflex called piloerection, designed to make them appear larger and more formidable. But tonight, there is nothing to be formidable for. There are no threats in the shadows. Imagine the fur on your own spirit smoothing down. Every ruffled feather of your day is being groomed back into place. You are becoming sleek, calm, and soft. The puffed-up worries of the afternoon are shrinking, losing their air, until they are nothing more than a whisper of silk against the sheets. Some cats, when they are dreaming, will let their tails twitch in small, erratic patterns. They are chasing ghosts in the fields of sleep, jumping through the tall grass of their imagination. Even in their deepest rest, a part of them is still dancing. You are entering that dance now. Your body is a statue of stillness, but your mind is beginning to curl and sway like a tail in the wind. You are drifting toward the world of dreams, where the laws of physics are replaced by the laws of wonder. In ancient art, the tail was often used to symbolize the connection between the physical and the spiritual. A cat wrapped in its own tail is a perfect circle, a symbol of self-sufficiency and wholeness. Coil yourself into that mental circle now. Tuck your chin, pull your metaphorical tail around you, and create a boundary of peace. Within this circle, nothing can touch you. Nothing can disturb the architecture of your stillness. You are a complete world, self-contained and serene. The tail is the last part of a cat to settle before they enter deep sleep. It gives one final, lazy flick, and then it is still. Feel that final flick in your own consciousness. The last thought of the day is waving goodbye. It is moving off into the distance, disappearing into the blue twilight. The silence is now absolute. The conversation is over. The tail is at rest, and so are you. Breathe in the grace of the movement. Breathe out the stillness of the end. You are balanced, you are whole, and you are ready to dream. Sleep in the curve of the velvet circle. Now, as the silent language of the tail fades into the stillness of your room, we turn our attention to the invisible force that guides every feline movement, gravity. And the incredible biological machinery that allows a cat to master it, the inner ear. As you lie there, supported by the steady embrace of your bed, feel the profound security of being grounded. You don't need to balance, you don't need to hold yourself up. You can simply surrender to the pull of the earth. Inside the cat's skull lies a sophisticated navigation system, a masterpiece of fluid and fine hairs known as the vestibular apparatus. It consists of 3 semicircular canals filled with fluid, and 2 otolith organs. These organs detect the slightest tilt of the head, the tiniest change in acceleration, and the precise direction of down. This is why a cat always seems to know exactly where it is in space. Even in the middle of a fall, their vestibular system sends instant messages to the brain, triggering the righting reflex. In a fraction of a second, the cat rotates its head to face the ground, then aligns its front legs, and finally twists its rear to ensure a soft, 4-point landing. It is a ballet of survival performed in the blink of an eye. Think of this internal compass as you breathe. Within you, too, is a center of balance. Even when the world feels like it is spinning, or when you feel appended by the events of your day, there is a part of you that always knows the way back to center. Tonight, that center is here, in the quiet of your breath, in the weight of your body, and in the certainty of this moment. Visualize the fluid in the cat's inner ear, moving slowly and smoothly as they tilt their head. Now, imagine your own thoughts becoming like that fluid, calm, level, and perfectly still. There are no waves here, no turbulence, only a clear, horizontal line of peace. The cat's ability to balance is also a result of their unique skeletal structure. They have no true collarbone, instead, their shoulder blades are attached to the rest of their body by muscles. Boo gives them a flexibility that seems almost impossible. They can narrow their shoulders to fit through any space their head can pass through. They are masters of adaptation, yielding to the world around them rather than fighting against it. Let go of your own collarbones tonight. Relax the muscles around your chest and shoulders. Feel yourself becoming flexible and soft. You are no longer rigid. You are no longer a fixed shape. You are like a cat in midair, trusting the air to support you, trusting the landing to be soft. The spine of a cat is a marvel of elasticity. It can rotate more than the spine of almost any other animal. This flexibility is what allows them to groom every inch of their bodies, and to spring into action from a state of total repose. But look at a cat when it is truly asleep. All that potential energy is gone. They become a puddle of fur, a knot of complete relaxation. You are entering that state of puddle now. Your spine is lengthening, your vertebrae are separating just a tiny bit, creating space for the night to flow through. You are not holding any tension in your back, you are not guarding any secrets, you are just lying. Gravity is not your enemy tonight, it is your oldest friend. It is the hand that holds you down so you don't drift away. It is the weight of the blanket that tells your nervous system it is time to sleep. Feel the pressure of your body against the mattress. This pressure is a message of safety, a confirmation that you are here, you are real, and you are protected. The cat's sense of balance extends to their hearing as well. Their ears can rotate 180 degrees. Controlled by 32 individual muscles. They can hear ultrasonic frequencies that are invisible to us, the tiny squeaks of a mouse or the rustle of a leaf miles away. Yet, they can also shut it all out. They can choose to sleep through a thunderstorm if they feel secure. You have that same power. You can choose to rotate your ears away from the sounds of the world. The hum of the refrigerator, the distant sound of a car, the ticking of a clock. These are just textures of the silence. They don't require your attention. Like a sleeping cat, you can let these sounds wash over you without waking your mind. Consider the writing reflex of the spirit. No matter how many times we fall during the day, no matter how many times we lose our balance, sleep is the mechanism that turns us upright again. During the night, your brain is recalibrating, your cells are repairing, and your internal fluid is finding its level once more. You will wake up tomorrow with a renewed sense of poise. You will walk with the confidence of a cat on a high wire. But for now, there is no wire. There is only the wide, safe expanse of your bed. Imagine you are a cat sleeping on a branch, high above the forest floor. You don't fear the height. Because you trust your grip, you trust your instincts, and you trust the branch. The wind sways you gently, a natural cradle. Back and forth, back and forth. Your breathing is that wind. It sways your ribcage, it sways your heart. Inhale and lift. Exhale and settle. The architecture of your stillness is now complete. You have the history of the ancients, the healing of the Purr, the vision of the stars, the language of the tail, and the balance of the inner ear. You are a masterpiece of rest. The fluid is still. The ears are at rest. The spine is soft. Breathe in the gravity of the earth. Breathe out the weight of the soul. You are grounded, you are balanced, and you are falling into the softest landing of all. Sleep in the center of the perfect circle. Now, as you remain anchored by the gentle gravity of your bed, we move from the internal balance of the ear to the external sensors of the face, the whiskers. Or as science calls them, vibrissae. These are not merely long hairs, they are sophisticated radar systems, fine-tuned instruments that allow a cat to feel the very texture of the air around them. As you lie still, imagine the air in your room as a physical substance. It is not empty space, it is a sea of subtle currents, temperature shifts, and silent vibrations. A cat's whiskers are rooted 3 times deeper in the skin than ordinary fur, connected to a dense network of nerves that lead directly to the sensory cortex of the brain. These whiskers are so sensitive that they do not even need to touch an object to know it is there. As a cat moves through the dark, its whiskers detect the minute changes in air pressure as it nears a wall, a chair, or a closed door. They see the shape of the room through the echoes of the air. Think of this as you settle deeper into the night. You don't need to see the walls of your room to know you are safe. You can feel the familiar pressure of your home, the protective envelope of your sanctuary. Like a cat navigating a midnight hallway. Your soul knows exactly where it is. You are in the right place, at the right time. The placement of whiskers is a map of biological precision. There are 12 on each side of the muzzle, arranged in 4 horizontal rows. But they are also found above the eyes, on the chin, and most surprisingly, on the back of the front legs, the carpal whiskers. These leg whiskers help a cat feel the position and movement of prey they have captured, filling in the blind spot directly under their chin. Consider the wisdom of this design. Nature ensures that there are no blind spots in survival. And tonight, there are no blind spots in your peace. Every part of your environment is accounted for, every shadow is understood. You can let your awareness expand beyond your physical skin. Out into the room, feeling the quiet, feeling the safety. The whiskers also reflect the cat's emotional state. When they are relaxed and content, the whiskers hang loosely to the side. When they are curious or greeting a friend, they push them forward, reaching out to touch the energy of the encounter. And when they are frightened, they pull them back tight against their face, protecting their sensors and making themselves a smaller target. Let your whiskers hang loose tonight. You are not on the hunt, you are not being hunted. You are in a state of total, feline neutrality. Your nerves are cooling down, moving from the high alert of the day to the soft, rhythmic pulsing of the night. Whiskers are also used to measure space. A cat's whiskers are generally as wide as its body. Before they enter a narrow opening, they use these hairs to preview the space. If the whiskers touch the sides, the cat knows it is too tight. They never force what does not fit. Apply this feline wisdom to your thoughts. If a thought feels too tight, too stressful, too complicated to fit into your rest, let it go. Don't try to force a solution tonight. If the space of your mind isn't ready for a problem, simply walk around it. You have all the room in the world to be peaceful. As you drift toward sleep, imagine the sensation of a light breeze against your face. Think of it not as a distraction, but as a gentle massage for your senses. Your skin is becoming more receptive to the soft texture of your sheets, the weight of your duvet, the coolness of your pillow. You are becoming a master of sensory comfort. The cat's whiskers are also called tactile hairs, because they turn the sense of touch into a form of sight. This is the secret of the night. When we close our eyes, our other senses grow stronger. We hear the house settling, we feel the rhythm of our breath, we sense the presence of sleep waiting just around the corner. Trust these tactile feelings of the soul. They are more accurate than the frantic images of the day. They tell you that you are tired, that you are warm, and that you are ready to surrender. In the wild, a cat uses its whiskers to detect the vibration of a leaf or the twitch of a blade of grass. But here, in your domestic sanctuary, the whiskers of your mind are detecting only the vast, slow waves of tranquility. There is a beautiful symmetry in a cat's face. A balance that has remained unchanged for millions of years. As you breathe, feel that same symmetry entering your own body. Your left side is as heavy as your right. Your inhale is as long as your exhale. You are becoming a mirror of feline perfection. The world of the seen is fading. The world of the felt is taking over. You are sensing the unseen architecture of the night, the invisible pillars of rest that support your dreams. The whiskers are still. The air is quiet. The map is complete. Breathe in the sensitivity of the night. Breathe out the numbness of the day. You are navigating the darkness with ease. Sleep in the wisdom of the silver hairs. Now, as you feel the invisible radar of your mind settling, and your whiskers relaxing into the soft pillow, we observe one of the most rhythmic and meditative acts in the animal kingdom, the groom. A cat spends up to half of its waking hours cleaning itself. It is not merely an act of hygiene, it is a ritual of restoration, a tactile meditation that signals the transition from the hunt to the hearth. Think of the texture of this act as you lie still. The cat's tongue is a specialized tool, covered in tiny, backward-facing hooks called papillae. These hooks are made of keratin, the same material as your own fingernails. They act like a natural comb, reaching through the fur to the very skin, removing the dust of the world and the scents of the day. Imagine that same combing action happening in your mind tonight. Every chaotic thought, every lingering worry from your afternoon meeting, every stray grain of stress, is being gently brushed away. One stroke at a time, your consciousness is becoming clean, organized, and smooth. You are stripping away the sense of the outside world until only your true, quiet self remains. The act of grooming serves a vital biological purpose beyond cleanliness. As the cat licks its fur, the evaporation of saliva provides a cooling effect, a natural air conditioning system for their bodies. Furthermore, the pressure of the tongue against the skin stimulates the production of sebum, an oil that keeps their coat waterproof and healthy. Feel that sense of self-maintenance in your own spirit. Your body knows how to take care of itself while you sleep. Your skin is breathing, your organs are quietly filtering. Your brain is grooming its neurons, discarding the memories that are no longer needed and strengthening the ones that are. You are in a state of internal renewal. There is a specific order to a cat's groom. Usually beginning with the face and the paws, then moving down the flanks, and ending with the tail. It is a sequence of complete body awareness. The cat leaves no part of itself neglected. As you settle deeper, do a mental groom of your own body. Start at the crown of your head, feel the scalp softening. Move to your eyes, letting the tiny muscles around them release their grip. Down to your jaw, letting it hang loose and light. Down your arms, to the very tips of your fingers. Continue down through your chest, your hips, your knees, until your entire being feels groomed by the silence. You are now smooth. You are now light. Psychologically, grooming is a displacement behavior. When a cat feels embarrassed or slightly stressed, it will often stop and give a few quick licks to its shoulder. This is a way of resetting the nervous system, of saying, I am back in control. I am here. You have the power to reset your own system now. If a restless thought tries to enter, just give it a mental stroke and let it go. You don't need to engage with it, you only need to acknowledge it and move on to the next part of your rest. The sound of a cat grooming is a soft, sandpaper-like whisper, rasp, rasp, rasp. It is a sound of absolute self-absorption in the best possible way. The cat is not worried about what you think of it, it is not worried about tomorrow's breakfast, it is entirely focused on the sensation of its own existence. Embrace that healthy selfishness tonight. This time belongs to you, and only you. You are not a worker, a parent, a friend, or a citizen. You are a soul and a body, preparing for the great mystery of sleep. Your only job is to be comfortable, your only duty is to be still. In the wild, grooming is also a social bond, allogrooming, where cats lick each other to show affection and strengthen the colony. Even though you are alone in your bed, feel the allogrooming of the universe. The air is stroking your cheek, the darkness is smoothing your brow, the peace of the night is licking away the scars of the day. You are loved by the stillness. As a cat finishes its groom, it often gives one final stretch, arching its back toward the ceiling, extending its claws into the carpet, and then, it collapses. It melts into a shape that seems to have no bones at all. You have reached that moment of collapse. The grooming of your day is finished. You are clean, you are refreshed, you are prepared. The rasping sound has stopped. The paws are tucked under the chin. The fur is perfectly aligned. Breathe in the purity of the ritual. Breathe out the grime of the world. You are unburdened. You are polished, and you are ready to shine in your dreams. The world is outside, but you are inside, in the pristine sanctuary of your own making. Sleep in the softness of the clean spirit. Now, as the ritual of the groom leaves you feeling clean and unburdened, we observe the most graceful transition in the feline day, the stretch. A cat never simply wakes up and walks away. They perform a deliberate, slow-motion expansion of their entire being. It is a physical prayer to the god of movement, a reawakening of the blood and the breath. As you lie in your bed, imagine your spine as a string of pearls. Feel the space between each pearl. A cat's spine is one of the most flexible structures in the animal kingdom, containing 30 vertebrae, 5 more than a human's. These extra bones, combined with highly elastic discs between them, allow a cat to arch its back into a perfect semicircle, or twist its body in mid-air with the fluidity of water. When a cat stretches, they are performing what scientists call pandiculation. It is not just a simple lengthening of the muscle, it is a neurological reset of the muscular system. After a long period of stillness, their blood pressure drops and their muscles stiffen slightly. The stretch sends a surge of blood back into the tissues, reoxygenating the cells and flushing out the toxins of stasis. Think of your own stretches tonight. Not physical ones, but the stretching of your consciousness. You are expanding your mind beyond the narrow confines of your daily worries. You are reaching out into the vastness of the night. Feel your spirit lengthening, becoming more elastic, more resilient. You are no longer brittle, you are supple. Visualize a cat as it begins its stretch. First, the front paws reach out far in front, the claws unsheath and grip the floor. The chest drops low to the ground. And the shoulders broaden. Then, the arch rises, the back climbs toward the ceiling like a mountain peak. Finally, they step forward, dragging one hind leg, then the other, in a long, lingering extension. It looks like a yawn for the entire body. Let your breathing mimic this expansion. Inhale, and feel your ribcage expanding like the arch of a cat's back. Exhale, and feel the long, slow release. You are not forcing the air, you are inviting it in, and letting it go with a sigh. The elasticity of a cat is not just in their bones, but in their very nature. They are masters of liquid form. There is a famous scientific study that playfully concludes that cats are, technically, liquids, because they take the shape of the container they are in. Whether it is a cardboard box, a glass bowl, or the crook of your arm. They adapt, they yield, they flow. Tonight, you are becoming liquid. You are taking the shape of your bed, the shape of the silence, the shape of the darkness. You are no longer resisting the world, you are flowing with it. Like a cat pouring itself into a basket, you are pouring yourself into sleep. Consider the elasticity of the soul. A cat can experience a sudden fright, a burst of intense energy. And within seconds of the threat passing, they can stretch, yawn, and return to a state of deep rest. They do not carry the trauma of the last hour into the next. Their nervous system is like a rubber band. It can be pulled tight, but it always returns to its original, relaxed shape. Your nervous system is returning to its original shape now. The pull of the day's demands is over. The tension is snapping back into a state of neutrality. You are returning to your baseline, your center, your stillness. The stretch is also a way for a cat to communicate confidence. A vulnerable animal does not stretch in the open. By exposing their belly and lengthening their limbs, the cat is saying, "I am safe. I am the master of this territory. I have nothing to fear." Claim that same confidence tonight. You are the master of this room, the sovereign of this bed. You have the right to be vulnerable, the right to be unprotected in your sleep. The world is on pause, and you are in the sunbeam of your own peace. As the cat finishes its stretch, it often gives a little shake, a quick vibration of the fur to settle everything back into place. Imagine a tiny vibration moving through you now. A ripple of relaxation starting at your toes, moving up through your calves, your thighs, your torso, and out through the top of your head. Every cell is settling into its sleep position. The potential for movement is still there, but it is dormant. The elasticity is tucked away, coiled like a soft spring. Listen to the rhythmic creak of the house, the soft sigh of the wind. These are the stretches of the earth itself. The planet is settling for the night, cooling down, exhaling. You are in sync with the globe. You are in sync with the feline wisdom. The arch has fallen. The limbs are heavy. The stretch is complete. Breathe in the flexibility of the spirit. Breathe out the rigidity of the mind. You are fluid, you are soft. And you are ready to flow into the ocean of dreams. Sleep in the grace of the lengthening shadows. Now, as the elasticity of the stretch settles into a profound stillness, we arrive at the very heart of the feline soul, the nap. To a cat, sleep is not a mere biological necessity, it is a primary occupation, a high art form that they have perfected over millions of years of evolution. As you lie in your own sanctuary tonight, feel the heavy, sweet invitation of the nap beginning to pull at your eyelids. You are entering the cat's domain. The realm of the eternal afternoon. A cat spends, on average, 12 to 16 hours of every day in sleep. Some senior cats may spend up to 20 hours drifting in and out of dreams. Think of that proportion. 2/3 of their entire lives are spent in a state of repose. They do not wake up with a sense of lost time, they do not feel the productivity guilt that haunts the human mind. To a cat, being still is the most productive thing one can do. It is the gathering of energy, the preservation of the self, the celebration of existence. Breathe in that freedom tonight. You are officially off the clock. There are no tasks left to finish, no emails to answer, no goals to reach. Your only job, like the sleeping tabby on the windowsill, is to simply be. The cat's sleep is divided into two distinct modes. The first is the cat nap, a state of light sleep where they remain highly alert. During these periods, which last about 15 to 30 minutes, their muscles remain slightly engaged, and their ears may twitch toward a distant sound. They are resting, but they are still plugged in to the world. You may feel yourself in this state now. You can hear my voice, you are aware of the weight of your blankets. You can sense the temperature of the air. This is the foyer of sleep, a comfortable, safe waiting room. Enjoy this light drifting. There is no need to rush into the deeper chambers, the door will open when you are ready. Then, there is the deep sleep. This is when the cat's body truly collapses. Their brain waves slow down, and they enter the REM phase, the stage of rapid eye movement. This is when the whiskers twitch, the paws paddle in the air, and soft, muffled chirps escape their throats. They are dreaming. They are chasing the shadows of ancient birds, leaping across the rooftops of a prehistoric world. Science tells us that cats dream of their daily activities. They process their experiences, they practice their skills, and they find joy in the subconscious. As you settle deeper, let your own dreams begin to shimmer on the horizon of your mind. They are not monsters to be feared, they are the shadow birds of your own imagination. They are harmless, playful, and full of wonder. You are safe to chase them, for to simply watch them fly past. The philosophy of the cat nap is rooted in conservation. As apex predators, cats are designed for short, explosive bursts of energy. To sustain those bursts, they must rest with absolute intensity. They don't just relax, they surrender. They find the warmest spot, the softest texture, the quietest corner, and they claim it as their own. Tonight, your bed is your sunbeam. Even if it is dark outside, imagine a warm, golden light shining directly onto your chest. Feel it soaking into your skin, warming your muscles, melting the last remnants of tension. You have claimed this space. It is your sovereign territory of rest. Consider the kneading behavior of a cat, often called making biscuits. This rhythmic pushing of the paws is a kittenhood reflex, a way of stimulating milk from their mother. When an adult cat does this, it is a sign of ultimate comfort and security. They are returning to their earliest memories of being cared for. In your mind, knead your own environment. Soften the edges of your thoughts, fluff up the clouds of your imagination. You are creating a nest of pure safety. You are being cared for by the night, nursed by the silence. A cat can sleep through almost anything if they trust their surroundings. They can sleep through the roar of traffic, the chatter of a television, the footsteps of a human. This is because they have mastered the filter. They know what is a threat and what is merely the world being the world. You can activate that filter now. The sounds of the outside world are just background music for your slumber. They don't need your analysis, they don't need your concern. Like a sleeping cat, you can acknowledge the sound and then let it slide off your fur. The cat teaches us that rest is not a reward for work, it is a prerequisite for life. We do not sleep because we have earned it, we sleep because we are living beings who deserve to be whole. Let your breathing become as shallow and effortless as a cat's. Your chest barely moves, your heart is a slow, steady drum in the distance. You are moving beyond the philosophy of doing, and into the philosophy of being. Doing nothing is not an absence of action, it is a presence of peace. In ancient Japan, cats were often depicted sleeping in temples, symbols of Zen and tranquility. They were seen as monks in fur, masters of a meditation that we humans struggle to achieve. Tonight, you are the monk. Your temple is your room, your sutra is your breath. The sunbeam of your imagination is slowly moving across the floor. The house is cooling, the stars are shifting. And you are drifting further and further from the shore of wakefulness. The cat nap has become a deep, dark ocean of sleep. Breathe in the permission to rest. Breathe out the need to achieve. You are successful simply because you are here, breathing, still, and at peace. The whiskers have stopped twitching. The dream has begun. Sleep. In the mastery of the empty hour. Now, we have traveled through the history, the biology, and the philosophy of the feline world. We have felt the ancient vibrations of the Purr, mapped the room with invisible whiskers, and stretched our souls until they became as fluid as water. Now, as we reach the final threshold of this journey, we prepare for the ultimate surrender, the final descent into the hearth of the soul. As you lie here, in the absolute sanctuary of your bed, consider the profound trust of a sleeping cat. When a cat enters a deep sleep, they are making a statement of faith in their environment. They are exposing their most vulnerable parts, their soft bellies, their throats, their closed eyes. They are saying to the world, I trust you to keep me safe while I am gone. Tonight, I invite you to make that same statement of faith. You don't need to guard your heart anymore. You don't need to shield your mind from the what-ifs of tomorrow. The world is a vast place, but for the next few hours, your world is only as large as your pillow, as warm as your blanket, and as quiet as your breath. The hearth is not just a place near a fire, it is a state of being. It is the center of the home, the point of return, the source of warmth. You are returning to your own internal hearth now. Moving away from the cold winds of productivity and the sharp edges of social interaction. You are coming home to the one person who has been with you since your first breath, yourself. Imagine a cat curled in the corner of a room, near a fire that is slowly fading into orange embers. The room is filled with the scent of cedar and old books. The only sound is the occasional soft pop of the wood, and the rhythmic, nearly silent, breathing of the cat. You are that cat. You are that peace. Science tells us that when we observe a cat resting, our own mirror neurons begin to fire. Our brains naturally mimic the state of the creature we are watching. By thinking of the cat's stillness, you are literally teaching your own nervous system how to be still. You are downloading 10,000 years of predatory patience and domestic contentment. Let the feline grace seep into your bones. Your heavy limbs are no longer yours to carry, the bed is carrying them for you. Your heavy head is no longer yours to hold up, the pillow has taken that burden. Your thoughts are no longer yours to solve, the night has swallowed them whole. Consider the cats of the world at this very moment. Somewhere, a lion is sleeping under a canopy of stars in the Serengeti. Somewhere, a snow leopard is curled in a cave high in the Himalayas, protected by the silence of the peaks. And somewhere, perhaps in the very house next to yours, a small tabby is dreaming of a sunbeam. All of them, from the mightiest to the smallest, are united by this singular need for rest. It is the great equalizer of life. And you are part of that global circle of sleep. You are not alone in your darkness, you are surrounded by the quiet breathing of the planet. The wisdom of Whiskers has taught us to sense the unseen. And what we sense now is the approach of a deep, restorative ocean. The tide is coming in. It is a warm tide, a tide of velvet and silk. It is washing over your feet, over your knees, over your chest. You are not drowning, you are floating. The cat does not fight the water of sleep, it lets itself be carried. It knows that on the other side of this ocean, there is a new day, a new sunbeam, and a new chance to explore. But that is for later. Much later. For now, there is only the descent. Lower and lower, into the softest part of the night. Feel the bridge of your nose relaxing. Feel your tongue falling away from the roof of your mouth. Feel the very tips of your hair losing their tension. You are becoming a ghost of yourself, a shadow in the moonlight. In the ancient stories, cats were the guardians of the gate between worlds. They stood at the edge of the waking world and the dreaming world, ensuring that only peace could pass through. Tonight, the gate is open, and the guardian is purring. You have permission to go. You have permission to forget your name. You have permission to forget your troubles. The architecture of stillness is your new home. It is built of shadows and stars, of purrs and sighs. It is a house that cannot be broken, a fortress of the heart. The embers of the fire are now just a dim, red glow. The room is almost dark, but it is a friendly dark. It is the darkness of the womb, the darkness of the nest. Take one last, deep, slow breath. Hold it for a moment at the top, feeling the fullness of life. And then, let it go, with a long, slow, feline exhale. The world is gone. The day is a ghost. You are the cat in the sunbeam, even in the middle of the night. Sleep now. Deeply. Safely. Completely. Where knowledge meets stillness. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well, in the wisdom of the Whiskers.